Good morning, everyone. So today we will study the marketing mix unit. So I'll give you a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Sanjay Sinha, and I have a background in engineering and management degree. So I worked in different departments such as marketing, finance, consulting, and currently I'm engaged with Ernst& Young Consulting, and I cover the Africa, India, and Middle East region. And I've been associated with UK University for more than 4 years, and I take up a few courses, and a marketing mix is one of them. So today we will start with this. So the learning outcome for today is to understand the role of the product or service in the marketing mix. So here we will develop a comprehensive understanding of the marketing mix and the roles of the 7 aspects of marketing. So first of all, we need to understand what is marketing mix. So basically, a marketing mix, it refers to how the organization uses the different aspects of marketing to create visibility about the product or service and encourage more customers to buy them. So there are basically many definitions available in academic literature related to marketing mix. So here we will undergo a study of few of the concepts. The first thing is like what to understand the marketing mix. So it refers to the primary elements that must be taken care of in order to properly market a product or service. So this is one of the basic academic definitions of marketing mix. So it means that the different elements in the marketing, whether it can be advertising, whether it can be the product, whether it is a distribution channel. So we will study all these in detail. So I'm just giving you a brief introduction. So for a product, for a tangible product, there are 4 combination of marketing mix. So these are product, place, price, and promotion. So it is a term that describes the key elements used by an organization to meet the marketing objectives. So the focus of the organization is on these 4 components. So by altering the elements of marketing mix, the organization can make your customer attracted to the brand. So what is a definition? So there are, like I said, there are many academic definitions available. So one of them is the marketing process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. So notice all of the words have special significance. So the combination of word is marketing process. So it means that it is not a one-time thing. It is a continuous process which evolves through the feedback, through the results, through the change in the external business environment. So it is a continuous process. Then identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements. So identifying means you identify what is the customer requirements, how much can he pay, and whether he will be satisfied with the product, and whether the product or service adds value to the customer. And finally, profitability. So as you know, businesses are mostly focused towards wealth generation for their shareholders. So any marketing mix should be targeted towards generating higher revenue and higher profits for the organization. So the 4 elements of marketing mix are product, price, place, and promotion. So these are the elements that the organization focus on when they design their marketing strategy. So what is a simple marketing system? So here we see that the goods and services, these are produced by the industry or the businesses or the organizations. These are sold to the customers in a market. So a market is where the buyers and sellers, they come together. So in a market, there may be many products. So you need to find out a unique differentiator for your product. Then The communication flows from industry to market. That means the awareness about the product or service, the value that it offers, the key features of the product or service is communicated by the industry to the market. Then the goods and services, like the goods are produced, manufactured, and distributed to the customers in the market. And similarly for the services. So a service is like a mobile phone, a prepaid plan. So that is a service. So both goods, these concepts apply to both goods as well as services. So then the consumer purchases the product or service, and the money flows from the consumer to the industry. So this is this is after a transaction has taken. Finally, the information in the form of feedback and whether the customer is happy or unhappy with the product, it flows from the customers, basically the buyers, to the sellers. So this is a simple marketing system. So like we discussed, marketing mix. So a more technical definition of marketing mix is a set of controllable variables that an organization can use in order to best meet customer needs and ensure that an organization is successful in the markets in which it serves. So uh, here you see the controllable variables. So what are those controllable variables? Place, price, product promotion. So these are the controllable variables, which are known as marketing mix elements. So these are more commonly known as the 4 Ps. These are the product, price, promotion, and place. So an organization has to identify the constraints through which it can control these 4 elements. Like if it has a budget constraint for say television advertising during a major event such as UEFA Champions League or English Premier League. So alternately, what the organization can do is choose the route of social media marketing. So they can advertise on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, and or it can do an email marketing. So that is a much cheaper option. So it all depends on the organization, how much budget they have, how much they can use these 4 elements to make the products visible to the customers. So first we should understand the basic concept of a product. So a product is something which satisfies a set of wants that customers have, basically the requirements of the customer. So some of the essential requirements of the customer, basically the needs are like milk or fruits, vegetables, your poultry items, chicken, egg. So these are like the needs of the customer. So then there is a want or desire. So suppose if you want to buy a high-end Ferrari or an Aston Martin, or a more simple example is like a iPad Pro, or if you want to go on a vacation to say Australia. So these are the desires of the customer. So for each and everything, the wants of the customer needs to be identified, and the product needs to be customized to meet these requirements. So there are certain attributes to the product. So it can be the availability, whether it is available in the markets, the performance of the product. So if you have purchased a Dove soap, so whether the use of the soap, whether you are happy or not, whether if that product gives you skin rashes, then the performance of the product is not good. So definitely it will create a negative image about that product. And there is a price. So if you have competitive, suppose if you want to purchase a mobile phone, so a similar specifications they are offering for £1,000, but another phone is offering for like £15,000. So definitely you will not purchase the higher end version. You will go for a version that you need. Similarly, like design. So the key concept that needs to be understood is that people do not buy products; they buy what products can do for them. So basically, what value addition can the products do? What are the functional aspects that the product can carry out? So these are the key aspects. These are the product attributes. Then comes the intangible aspects of a product. So this is image. Like if you want to buy iPhone, so through your own knowledge and through your contacts that it is a good product, it is a reliable product. So the image of the product is very high, and the perceived value. So for some people, it's a social status, especially in developing countries. It's a social status. Or for some people, it's a performance thing. Okay, I will have iPhone, it will not crash, it will not hang. So those are the perceived values of a product. Now, here we give an example like a sports shirt. So what are the different attributes of a sports shirt? It is a variation in models, it is a quality, then it is the color, and then like how you feel like if it you can wear it with other costumes or not. So those are some of the key aspects of a product. So now we analyze how the features and benefits of a product or service are used in marketing mix. So this we already discussed. So now branding. So branding is one of the very important aspects in any product or service that is offered by an organization. So what is branding? So it relates to the practice and technique of creating, devising, and communicating a device which distinguishes the product from all others. So this is a bit technical definition. So I will tell you the basic concept of branding. Branding is about creating an image. So, as in most people say that in marketing, reality is not reality. It is perception which is reality. So, by branding, you create a perception which feels like real to the consumers, and then they buy the products. So, a brand name is the face of the product. So, it stands for things like quality, reliability, trust, and status. So the brand leader, like the brand which consistently holds the largest market share. So it is not always the performance or the quality. So most of it is also related to the brand. So one of the classic examples is the Apple brand. So people know, they are aware of the brand, they perceive the products to be good, even though other Chinese companies or Samsung may come up with similar products with similar specifications. Apple enjoys a higher brand, not only in UK but across the world. So what are the top brands in the world in UK? So one can think of like British Airways, Virgin Group, or uh, maybe Barclays. So these are the top brands. So you can carry out an exercise and list out the top brands in UK. So when we are talking about branding, we need to understand the following concepts that can help you to drive the marketing strategy. It is brand preference. So what is the acceptance of the brand for the consumers? Then brand loyalty, like for how long can the consumer stay purchase the products of the same brand even though similar competition products are available. So, for example, if you buy a certain uh, a packet of say whatever any packet of biscuit if you buy, so for how long can you keep on buying while ignoring other brands? So it depends, like what are the attributes, why are you attracted to it? Some may have an emotional feel, some may get used to the taste. So it's similar like choosing between, if you're choosing Coke, why you're doing it, so you must have strong reasons. Or if you're choosing Pepsi, why are you choosing Pepsi every time? So again, brand switching. So most of the people, they switch brands because they form a negative perception about the brand that they're using, or the price has become higher, so that the alternative option seems much more attractive. And then brand positioning, like how is the brand positioned in the minds of the consumer? Is it a luxury brand? It is an affordable brand? Is it a mass market brand? So these are the things that an organization or you as a marketer, you need to decide where you want to place your brand. So for example, everyone can say that I want to place my product in the luxury brand, in the higher segment and get more premium pricing. But you need to justify it. You need to create a very strong brand for it. So now this Ansoff matrix, it basically relates to how the product can grow through in existing markets, new markets, or how the organization can modify its products to gain higher market share. So if you see the four quadrants of the Ansoff matrix relates to, if you on the left side, if you see market development. So in new markets, you sell out existing products. Then actually we will go clockwise. The first one is market penetration. So it means that you already have your presence in the market and you're trying to increase your presence. So how can this be done? By offering loyalty programs, by giving discounts, or by giving other offers so that the customers they stay loyal to this product. So this is so you want to penetrate the market more. Now, in existing markets, you go for new products. So based on your reputation of in the market of prior products, you try to bring in new products. So that becomes product development in existing markets. So now in new markets, if you have existing products, so that you can bring it to the new markets, so people can become aware and they can also relate it to the global positioning of the product, and then it becomes easier for you to market the product. So that is market development. And finally, diversification. That is in new markets, you're getting new products. So it is an entirely new area of business. So the whole objective of studying the Ansoff matrix is to understand like in which category does your product fall, or what are you doing to increase the revenues of the business. So if your business is in a stagnant state and you're just getting a certain amount of cash flows, but you want to pursue higher growth, like the shareholders, they want higher growth. So you go for a diversification, or you go for a new market development. So this way you can customize your strategy, you can use the different marketing mix elements, and then you can target higher growth. So what is the use of marketing mix at each stage of the product life cycle? So as a product life cycle is the different stages through which a product goes through. So the first phase is the development phase, where the product is being designed. Nobody outside the company knows, even many people in the companies, they don't know that a new product is being designed. Then there is the introduction of the product. So in this phase, the sales are low, the profit will be negative, and the product may or may not be feasible in the market. So this is just the trial stage by the organization where they would want to test the feasibility of the product. So in this stage, the financing of the product is if it is a large organization, they may have internal financing, or if it is a small organization, a startup or something like that, so they may go for venture capital financing or seed capital financing. So next is the growth stage. Now in this phase, the feasibility of the product is determined and the market acceptance of the product is higher. So the sales will increase rapidly. So based on that, the organization will also spend on the marketing and other things to get it more acceptable in the market. So and this stage is also marked by higher profits. I mean, the profits will not stabilize, but it will show an increasing rate because the product has been accepted in the market and the more and more consumers are getting to know about the product in the market. So then there comes the maturity phase. So where the sales reach their highest point and it becomes further difficult to, grow exponentially. One such example could be mobile phone connections, like the penetration of the mobile phone and data among the consumers across the world. Everybody has a mobile phone, so it will be very difficult for organizations, especially the telecom service providers such as Vodafone and AT&T and Sprite or other companies to show exponential growth. So they have reached a maturity phase where the rate of growth slows and there are more and more competitors in the market because they have identified the feasibility of the product and its acceptance in the market. Then comes the saturation phase, where similar products enter the market, the competition becomes very high, but due to if some businesses they do not have strong cash flows or they do not have strong financial performance, they may be forced out of the market. So here the consumers are the major beneficiaries of the product or service. So all the companies they compete on price, so it ultimately benefits the consumer. Then finally, in the decline stage, the sales they continue to fall due to the high competition, saturation in the market, and the profits continue to fall. So at this stage, the organization needs to come up with certain innovation so that they can continue with the growth or maturity phase. So an example is iPhone. So before it comes to the saturation or decline phase, it again comes up with a new version or certain innovation so that it is always in the either in the growth or maturity phase. So this is a small exercise which you can carry out after the class. Like where do you consider the following products to be in the life cycle? I can give you a hint. A mobile phone is in maturity or saturation phase. Newspapers, they are mostly in the decline phase. Then self-driven cars. So this is interesting. It is in growth phase now. Basically introduction and growth phase. Now we move on to the next. So pricing. So what is pricing? Price of any product is equal to the cost incurred by the organization plus a markup to the cost. So cost is definitely a profit or loss. So basically you have to add some markup so that you can determine the profit for the product. So next is the promotion. So like I said, promotion is it's all related to advertising and marketing of the product. So the marketing must first attract the customer's attention to the product. So for that you need to create visibility, the awareness about the product. Then it should create an interest in the product. So whenever you see an advertisement of a beverage such as Coca-Cola or Pepsi or any fruit juice, you will see that drops of the drink are trickling and it's very the atmosphere is very heated up. So that is how you create an interest in the product. So your mind should resonate with the need and want of the for that product. So then comes the desire. So the marketing must develop a desire to own or have the product. So if you see the advertising and if you're outside somewhere, you will feel a thirst for the product. So you may be tempted to go and buy it in the nearest store. And finally, the marketing must prompt an action to purchase so that customers take steps to buy the product. So similarly, like if you're ordering lunch and if you see an advertisement, so suddenly it is on top of your mind and you'll be tempted by ordering a beverage in addition to the lunch. So now what is the place? So the place in the marketing mix is the channel of distribution of the product. So it can be through the distribution network. It also includes the supply chain, whether you are selling it through the retailer, through the exclusively owned outlets, or you're selling it through a common retailer like Tesco. So basically, channel of distribution comprises a set of institutions which perform all the activities to move a product and its title from production to consumption. So basically, where you place your final product so that it is visible to the customer. So now we look into the merit criteria, which states that analyze how a business can create lifetime value to a customer by using the customer life cycle. So first we need to understand what is the concept of customer lifetime value. So a customer lifetime value is the average amount your customers will spend on your business over your entire life of your relationship. So, for example, if a customer continues to buy products or services for 10 years and spends £10 per year, so his lifetime value is £100. But you are never sure, like when the customer may change his mind or when they will switch to another product. So, it is a rough estimation based on which products are designed and the marketing mix is altered. So it refers to the different steps a customer goes through when they are considering buying, using, and remaining loyal to the product or service. So these are the stages where the marketing team focuses on how to generate more attraction for the product and how to ensure continuous consumption of the product. So the 6 stages of customer life cycle include awareness. First of all, this is from the company to the customer. They create an awareness about the product. Then engagement. So for some of the companies, they encourage trial of the product. For example, the automobile dealers, they will let you test drive a car so that you will get the desire to own the car. Then evaluation, like you will see whether you can buy it upfront or you can buy it through your EMI option. Then the final transaction happens, which is the purchase. So in this, the company has become successful in selling you a product, but it does not end there. So a bonding and advocacy is important to keep you continuously engaged. For example, if you purchase a BMW, and if the company continuously engages you through its offers by giving discounts to the services, then you will stay connected to the brand. But if the company has a very poor after sales service, you may be tempted to sell the car, or you may be tempted to like never ever purchase that brand again. So next we look into the role of a product or service in the marketing mix of a chosen organization. So basically, this is your exercise that you need to carry out. I'll give you a brief overview of what are the different aspects of this. So for a product, the 4 P's are product, promotion, price, and place. So this is what we have discussed earlier. So the product is the actual product that the company is selling. The promotion, it relates to the marketing and sales activities, and some of the promotional strategies, it can be either traditional such as print media, it can be television advertising, it can be celebrity endorsement, or it can be the digital marketing techniques such as social media marketing, email marketing. Then the pricing, like how much should a firm fix the price of a product so that it generates a profit out of that. And finally, by place, like where will the customer be able to buy the product. So in case of service, you have additional key aspects. So the first one is people. So I'll just rewind and recap about the 4 P's. The 4 P's is product, price, promotion, and place. This is for products like tangible products, but for services such as a telecommunication service or a broadband service or a restaurant service, you add another 3 components. So that is people, process, and physical evidence. So customer service is extremely important in service sector. So the staff must be trained, they must be presentable well to the customers, and the customer should be happy with the service that is offered by the people. And the process, like how is the process streamlined and how is the process connected to provide an end-to-end delivery to the customer. For example, when you purchase a mobile SIM card, so can you access it online? Can you recharge online? Can you look for another plans online? Can you deactivate online? So these are the integration of all the processes and the processes that organization has designed. And the third aspect is the physical evidence. It is a proof that the firm can provide the service required. So physical evidence, it can be like where can you get a SIM card. So if you have to travel 20 kilometers to get a Vodafone SIM card, so that is not a that does not present a good image about the company. So the company should provide sufficient evidence of physical evidence. So what factors basically impact the marketing mix? So as the marketing mix, it always takes into account the dynamic conditions of the business environment and how it can be carried out. So the market and market research, like what are the competitors, what are the target market segments. So these are very important when you design your marketing mix. Then finance, like how much the organization can provide the budget for particular activities such as say marketing activity or commission to the retailer. So those things you need to consider, and those are determined. Those are actually included in a marketing mix. Then people, like we spoke, the skills of the people, how they can add value to the customers. Then technology, what technology is available to the firm. So if you order SIM card online, will it get delivered within 1 day? Or what are the verification? How can you carry out the verification? Whether you have option of integrated payment gateway. So these are a few technological aspects. Then state of the economy. So if the economy is high growth, that means the wages of the consumers will rise and the companies can accordingly price their products higher. But if the economy is in stagnation mode or it is in recession mode, the consumers, they switch to saving their amount because they are very skeptical what is going to happen next. So then the pricing strategy also needs to be different. So this all has a major influence on the marketing mix. So, so this brings us to the importance of an integrated marketing mix. So an integrated marketing mix means that all elements of the marketing mix are dependent upon and complementary to each other. So if you are spending too much money on promotion and if towards building a brand or creating a perception, so that can have a reflection on the price. So you can increase the price, or if the shelf life of the product is very low, that means you have to choose an appropriate place so that it does not gets wasted. So this is an important, like the each of the elements of the marketing mix should not work in isolation. Rather than they should be integrated with other elements to uh, prepare an overall marketing strategy using this marketing mix framework. So that is all for the time being. So in case you have any questions, you can